All right. Hello, everyone. We are live right now. You may have just joined me in Knoxville, Tennessee, with women's rights activist Jennifer Thomas, who was live at the Our Bodies, Our Sports rally. Right now, we are live in New York City. I am with Kay Yang and Isabella Malbin. They have taken to the ground in NYC and are going to be covering some of the Pride events that are happening. Kay, your sound is on. Just so you know, Isabella, you have muted yourself.
Okay. Can you hear me, Amy? What's the sound like for you?
The sound is great. And just so you know, if you can hear me, Isabella's mic is on mute and I cannot unmute it. Okay.
So we're walking down the street now. We're headed towards Washington Square Park. There's a ton of people out. The parade is like still going on. But there's people everywhere at different points gathered around the city to like kind of watch the parade.
Great.
I mean, there's people everywhere. As we approach the park, you're gonna see. We're gonna wait until we get there to give you guys a view of what's going on.
Great.
Like we're gonna get to the park. We're gonna give you guys a tour of what the park looks like and what's going on before we start to engage with people.
Great.
Because once we start talking to people, we might attract some attention. And we're not gonna take the signs out until after we do some engagement with people. You saw the good doll. Hi. Selling paraphernalia.
Great.
Lots of men in skirts and dresses.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I really appreciate you all being out there to these Pride events, and I like that we're calling this stream a No Pride. They have become infested with public kink, adult sexual activity. They used to be celebratory events, and now they are masturbatory events, pornographic events, and public exhibitionist events. So I'm glad that we are protesting the fact that these are grooming kids.
Amy, why don't you put the other camera on? I'm gonna put mine down.
Great.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Follow us.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Are you in the studio too?
I think so.
Everyone is in the studio if you can hear me.
So,
We're all in the studio. Why don't you mute everyone except for me?
Okay, everyone is muted except for KA.
Wait. Oh no, wait. Isabella has got a mic plugged in, so you can leave her on too if you want.
Well, I don't need to. I just can't hear her when the mic.
We won't be able to hear you. I'll be able to hear you on my phone when I put you close.
Okay, I think Isabella can hear me because she has headphones in, correct?
No, it's not working.
I'm going to switch the headphones so I can do both. I'm going to switch right now. That way I can hear her when talking.
Hey, got up high. So all right, we're getting set up. Give us a second.
Yeah, no problem. Kay, are you using your Rode mic?
I'm not. I don't want to get it out because there's so many people here. Shit might get crazy when we take out the signs. So I don't want to lose
Got
any
it.
equipment that we can't afford to replace.
Yeah.
Are you guys ready? We're getting out the tripod so we can get an aerial view so you guys can kind of see what's happening.
Thank you.
All right, you guys.
Okay.
Hey gang, I'm here with Isabella.
Stop female erasure and whose body is it? We're here at Washington Square Park, New York City Pride 2023. We're really going to be going around. We're going to give you a view of the whole scene. Just having to celebrate. Inserted in federal law. People are young.
Mine keeps cutting out, so I think we can just go back.
Okay, so Isabella's is cutting out. We're gonna use my phone back and forth. I'm gonna let her hold this for right now.
Hey,
Fantastic.
it's wild. I mean, I've never seen part of it. Like, that's the most alarming thing, seeing like young couples like on estrogen and the girl doesn't have breasts anymore.
I-
It's really upsetting.
So I'm actually have a fun hand of people. Maybe we should start going with the photos. People come to us and engage. So I think we're gonna find a people come to if we are for us.
We're gonna walk towards the top.
Hey, I'm calling Isabella on Signal. I'm thinking we might get better sound if I have someone on a phone.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, that's better. That's much better sound.
I think the service is so bad because there's so many people here right now.
Yeah.
Amy called me via Signal. Can you hear us, Amy?
Yeah, I can hear you a lot better than I can hear you on the sound keeps cutting out.
Yeah, it's pretty bad signal. But you can see the scene here.
Yeah.
Do you want to go up there, maybe? On the platform? Yes. Yeah.
Here, wait, let me try. I'm going to try one more thing. Let me try one more thing. Hold on. Okay, hold on. We're going to try one more thing. Sorry, friends, we're trying one more thing. Okay. Oh, that's much better. Okay, that's much better.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can. Hey.
I think I'm still.
You're frozen. Yeah, the screen is frozen. But I can hear you now.
I can barely hear you.
I can. Yeah, it's really. Oh, darn it. Oh, friends, this is really, it's a little hard in the NYC to get this sound going. we're having a little technical issues. Oh, and I've lost everyone. All right, we're gonna see if we can get this going. I'm sure these ladies are gonna call me back momentarily. Here we go. Okay. Let's see if this works. We will see if this works. Okay.
Yeah, you there? Okay.
I can see you. I can see you now. Your sound is cutting out.
There's no transfer cover.
Your sound is really cutting out.
So there's so many people here. So we're gonna try to live stream and we'll record capture but
Okay.
Is it going in the studio yet?
In the studio, yeah, it's in the studio.
Amy, are you there?
I am here. I can hear you. Do you want to? Does someone
back to the studio?
Say again? Can someone call me on the phone?
No, I wasn't.
Call me on the phone.
The studio, I'm just gonna keep holding.
I don't know.
Why doesn't someone?
Or not?
I'm trying to call them. Oh, friends, this is funny. Yeah. Oh, we lost them again. Let's see. I don't have picture. I'm trying to call on the phone, regular phone. We will see if we're going to have a live stream from New York. I don't know if we're going to have a live stream from New York. We will see if that happens. Yeah, I think it would. I think it would work better if they weren't in the actual park. Hey, can you hear me here? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Yeah, can you hear me here?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, it's. Say again. I'm losing you. Here, let's try a different. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're cutting out. What about the actual phone? What do you think?
Can you hear me?
Yes, that's so much better.
Yes, call me on the actual phone.
Okay, bye.
Call me.
Bye. Thank you guys for hanging in. We're trying to figure it out. We'll see. Yeah, I think there's too many people's signals. So one of the things that we want to fundraise for is a personal Wi-Fi hotspot. Uh, if we thank you all for being here. This is why I want to have a personal Wi-Fi hotspot. I think we should all have one. That way, we wouldn't have to be as competitive with cellular. If we could carry our own Wi-Fi hotspots around with us to events that we know are going to be crowded. What I'm thinking is that may happen. There could probably be a turf blocker installed. I see that. I don't know if I'm going to be able to reconnect with these ladies. We will see. I'm calling all of them. Oh, good. Hey.
Hey. Okay, we're trying a different setup with the phones now.
Okay, because the other thing I was thinking is I could FaceTime you or something, and then I could like share my screen with the audience. I don't know.
You could FaceTime Isabella. My iPhone doesn't have service.
Okay.
Yeah, it's because there's so many people here. The servers are like shit right now. This is exactly why we need the hotspot.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying.
Tell everybody, like, hey, donate money so we can buy the hotspots for the next event.
Yeah, do. So if you can hear Kay, I have her on speakerphone on my phone. This is exactly why we need mobile hotspots. And if any donations that you decide to give right now, we will put directly into mobile hotspots. These are things that we need because we want to be doing more of these events where there are massive events and massive amounts of people. Yeah, we need a mobile hotspot.
Amy, I'm gonna try to get back into the StreamYard on my phone. It seems to be the only one that will go.
Okay, great.
As soon as we get in the studio with you,
yep,
we're gonna pull out the signs and get like some shots of us just like holding them up in front of the whole crowd.
Love it.
Because there's so bad Wi-Fi, we might not be with you for very long.
Okay, that sounds perfect. All right, I am here.
Try to go in on my phone.
Okay, great. Bye. All right, so here's the plan. We might not have a very long live stream today, but what we're going to do, Kay Yang's phone seems to be the one that is working the best. She is going to tune in with us. What they're going to do is they are going to take out their signs. They are going to try to get as much footage. We think that they will maybe be inundated with people as soon as they take their signs out. So we're going to try to capture that and stay with them as long as possible. They are going to be taking footage that is non-live. So hopefully what we will do is put that footage up later. I'm sure Kay will put it on her Instagram. I will put it up on my Twitter. We will get that footage out there, but she is going to try to get back into the studio with me. I'm in a StreamYard studio. She's going to get back here if she can. And then we will see what we can do. So, you know, I always talk about these events when we go there. So what we do when we show up is that this is the record of our descent. That's what Kay Yang and I always say. When we go there, thank you, cheese and onions. When we go to these places live, this is what creates a record. So when men like Matt Walsh say, where are the women? We have a record. You know, if you look at my channel, you can see this is when women stood up in Colorado. This is when women stood up in DC. This is when women stood up in Tennessee. This is when women stood up in Florida. This is when women stood up in California. And I am not the only channel that is doing this. I see Christina Goki is here today. Her channel is also creating records of women's descent. We also have WLRN creates a record of women's descent. We have Rev Fox that creates a record of women's descent. So all of these channels, this is what we're doing. So it's really important that we do this work because obviously mainstream media is not telling our stories. Mainstream media is not covering our voices. So it's important for us to cover our own stories and our own voices. Now, if you were with me earlier today, I covered an event in Knoxville, Tennessee, Our Bodies, Our Sports with Jennifer Thomas. She was on the ground. I was hosting here in the studio. And that event was enclosed. It was much smaller. So we did not have the issue that we are having today. This is of course, the same issue that we faced in my same live stream when we were in New York City with the Let Women Speak tour. It was really hard to retain signal. Now, for those of you who are trying to host many of these events, that's why I highly suggest always having someone in studio, because the in studio person is holding down the fort. They're basically keeping the line open. Now, I hope Kay Yang is going to be joining me in the studio at any moment. But I'm holding open the space. Now, if she was the only one that was in the studio, as soon as she lost signal, the whole event would end. So that's the benefit of having someone in the studio and someone on the ground. This is a formula that if you are going to be doing these, I highly recommend this formula because it keeps the channel open. Oh, where were you, Cheese and Onions? I'd love to hear where you were. You know, and this is the reason why, you know, these a lot of the equipment that we have is really important. For those who were here 2 weeks ago, I was in Tacoma. And we did a protest or we did a press conference at the Linwood Olympus Spa. Now, what you will have noticed is that we had a huge Antifa counter protest at that Linwood event. However, we had amazing sound equipment. So because we had the great sound equipment, it didn't interfere. Their noise pollution didn't interfere with our ability to hold the event. But what we are seeing today, thank you so much for the hotspot. What we are seeing today is a situation in which it is very hard to get signal with events that are crowded with just thousands of people. So I really hope that they're going to join us in a moment. We will see. So I'm really glad you all stood up at the Children's Hospital. I do highly recommend that anyone who goes out and does an event, it's great if you can live stream at least a little of it. Cheese and Onions, I would be curious to hear, did you take pictures? Can we find these pictures on social media? Because it's really good if we can document these events and share these stories. So, yeah. Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate it so much. Thank you. So, you know, Pride used to be an event where, you know, gays, lesbians, bisexuals could represent themselves and have a place to celebrate their love, celebrate their struggles and what they have been through and how far they came. But now what we are seeing at these events, as we spoke of earlier, is really public displays of fetish. And let me see if I can show you one. I just saw this one earlier today. If I can find it in my, I might not be able to find it, but I saw, oh, here we go. Yeah, I can find it. So Andy No posted on this, and I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you so you can see it, since we are still, thank you, Bumblegoat. That is amazing. I really, really appreciate it. I really, really appreciate this. Thank you. I don't know why it's so slow. I see that my thing has gone way slow. So I think it's because I have too many programs open. Okay. I'm going to share my screen so that I can show this footage. Okay. So Andy No posted this. This children and adults are playing together at a clothing optional event party in Washington Square Park. This is where Kay and Isabella are right now. So this is some footage that Andy No got on his Twitter. He's posted. So this is a problem, and anyone who thinks this is benign, this is not benign. Children being exposed to adult sexuality is not benign. Children do not have filters. They can't filter out, I don't, this is bad, harmful material, because they're not old enough to formulate those discernments. We make these discernments when we are older. And this material goes into them. It disrupts their innocence. So this material is being received by their bodies at an age when they have not yet been able to explore their own bodies in innocence. So I have critiques about this even in my own childhood. And one of the things that I always talk about from my own childhood, and I don't know how many of you are Gen Xers out there, but I was inundated with the footage of Empire Strikes Back and seeing Princess Leia sexualized in a slave costume. So seeing a woman who was meant to be a hero who was sexualized as a literal slave. Now, I critique this now as an adult, but as a child, I didn't have a filter that was there to say, no, this is wrong. Women should not be heroized and sexualized as slaves. This was inappropriate. And this image, one image, there's many images that I could go to, but this is one image, for example, that was there disrupting my innocence, disrupting my ability to connect with my own body in an innocent way. So that sexualized slave image was in my brain and being basically informing my own relationship with my body. And this is what is happening to these kids at events like Pride. So when we see kids seeing these pictures of kink at Pride, when we see them being next to puppy play, gimps, a lot of the footage, let me see if I can find one that Belissa Cohen put up. I'm going to see if I can find that right now. Let's look at her media stories. So when we see these things, it really disrupts kids' ability to explore themselves in innocence, and it gets in the way. Now think, what are you meant to think if you are a child who has not yet had even a crush on a member of the opposite sex? If you are a child who has not yet held the hand or kissed or done any innocent act with a member of the opposite sex. And you see, I'm going to show you some material. I'm going to share my screen, and you see material like these. I'm going to share this. Let's see if I can share this screen. All right. Yeah. What are kids meant to make of this material? This gimp get up, puppy play, this, let's see, we see some here, nakedness and lewdness. Look at this, just naked guy, just wearing a thong. Here we see down below, we see some, this is rope play at a family friendly dyke day that's happening. Let's see. I know she had some other footage somewhere else, but collecting money, being given money, so for having their bodies objectified. I mean, this is very, this is a blurring of the boundaries. This is exposing kids. It's grooming, ultimately, is what it is. And I want to break down what grooming really is. So when we see pride events, they are filled with rainbows and flags and people with makeup and sparkles and colorful hair, and all of these things signal kind of this forced positivity. So when there is charm or this forced positivity being used alongside boundary violations, alongside desensitization and the normalization of fetish, that is grooming. Grooming is charm plus normalization and desensitization of boundary violation. This erodes boundaries over time. So this is a huge problem. This is a huge problem for kids. Now, I don't know if we are going to get these ladies back. I'm going to try and talk a little bit more. Let's see. Okay. I'm just asking them if they're coming back. I hope they do. Let's remain chatting. Let's remain chatting for another 20-30 minutes and see if we can get them back. And if we do, it will be amazing. And if we don't, we will have shared a lovely time together. And I will keep your conversation going, and we'll keep this going. Now, this is a really good point that's being made. Charm is a verb. Now, Gavin de Becker speaks about this very specifically in his book, which I'm sure those of you who follow me have heard me recommend. It is called The Gift of Fear, and he talks about this. Charm is a verb. We should not think of charm as a personality trait. We should think of charm that an action is that someone is taking. So if you look at someone, if you see a man and you think, oh, he's so charming, you should think that is an action that he is taking. And why is he trying to charm me? Now, maybe, it is benign. Maybe he is simply trying to charm you because he likes you, or maybe it's someone trying to make a good impression for all kinds of number of reasons, and their motive is simply to make a good impression. However, as long as you keep it in your mind that it is an action, it is going to be able to help you better discern why he is taking that action. Because sometimes you might investigate, why is someone taking that action of charm against me? And you might see, well, they are trying to get past my boundaries. Maybe that is something you will notice. But I think the more we can keep it in our minds that it is an action that is being taken to get a result, we can question, what is that result that they are trying to receive? And that will keep us present and awake to what is happening. The pure light essence of children's energy is what groomers feed on. Children are all light beings, and groomers are dark beings draining children energy. Keep these children away from these events. And that is really true. I do think that I might use a little bit different language when I speak about it, but yes, the absolute essence of being what is being said here is true. Children are innocents. Children are open. Children are accepting. And this is what groomers do feed on. They take advantage of the fact that children are open and accepting, and they try to create a wedge. Groomers are trying to look for access. Okay. It is much easier to access a victim who is open, okay, who is accepting, who hasn't formulated all kinds of judgments about the world the way that adults have formulated all kinds of judgments about the world. So this is a really excellent point that is being made here. Let me see. I'm going to try and keep up with these comments. Loving and accepting your true self requires zero body modification, mutilating surgeries, or destructive cross-sex hormones, therapy, or intervention. This is really true. I had a conversation with a mother. She was in a bit of a defensive place. I was trying my best not to provoke her defensiveness. But of course, it is a touchy topic when you are defending a child who you love. And this woman was defending her daughter, who she referred to as trans mask. And I was simply trying to tell her, your daughter is born in the right body. Your daughter's body is her body. Her developmental path is her developmental path. And no matter how she conceptualizes her identity, her body remains her body. And this mother said to me, she said, well, it sounds like you're just saying you get what you get and you don't get upset. And I said, yeah. That's pretty much it. That's what I'm saying. Our bodies are our bodies, and we have to learn how to accept them. And now there are steps that we can take to have a better relationship with our bodies. Right now, I will share with you all that I am working on a bit of a fitness journey. I have, doesn't really matter the whys and the wheres, but it has happened. And I've gained some weight over the last 3 or so years, and I am not satisfied. But the point is, I am where I am right now. Denying my situatedness in my right now body is not going to help me, and dissociating from my body is not going to help me. The only way for me to be on this journey journey is to be loving and accepting and to move forward. This body is my only body. And that is why it is important to take care of it. I would like to take better care of my body than I had been doing prior to this, but now I am. But the point is that this is the only place where I can begin from. I can only begin by being embodied, by accepting my current embodiment. That is the place. That is the only place to be. I have to be in this place today. I have to be in this place tomorrow. I have to be in this place the next day. This is where we need to begin from. I believe that our strength and our survival capacities begin with recognizing our whole embodiment, our holistic embodiment. Let's see. I like this one. Don't trust people at all who are charming at first. I've been burned by too much trusting, disclosing personal things that are used against me at the first opportunity. I do like this advice as well. I do like to, in general, I'm a pretty I guess open person. I have I don't know, a sunny disposition, maybe you could say. So I prefer to find agreements with people. I prefer to seek agreement. I prefer to be in good standing with those I meet. I prefer to be liked. And I understand that most other people do prefer to be liked. So I think there is a real balance in meeting people and enjoying them, but having a healthy, like sort of background skepticism, just like noticing what comes up. Like, hey, I had a really great interaction with that person. That person, they were really funny, or they were really, charming, or they were really this, and we had a great interaction. But holding it, just holding it, paying attention to it, not going deeper than the relationship warrants, not sharing personal things unless the relationship really warrants depth and intimacy. And I too have had to learn this the hard way. I too have trusted women and men and women who I was too personal with too quickly. And I have learned to, share my external self while withholding some of that which is depth in me. And I think this is a process. We can be nice about it. Okay, so I did just get a message from Kay Yang. They are coming back. I'm just going to tell her that I'm holding open the space. Up, here she comes. Okay. Okay, here she comes. So she is coming. You're welcome, Kiki, for addressing that. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to see. I'm going to put her. All right, so she's in the stream. I'm going to mute her for you guys. Oh, wait, here she is. Okay, great. I can hear you. I can hear you. I will, Dawn. Thank you for saying. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so it was the conversation until he, they get off, they can't answer your questions, they lie that they're totally wrong, they have nothing to say, and so I started getting mad. We were having a conversation. They said that I was being dumb, I was dragging them through the mud, and then the woman started yelling at me that I needed to leave. But I kind of just and said that for her, like, cute. And so Isabella's conversation with some folks behind me. As you can see, there's like tons of people. I was going to keep going with my sign here.
All right, so I'm gonna put Kay Yang up. I know you can hear me. Her mic is on.
And we will see if anybody else decides to come over. We're getting a lot of people are giving us nasty looks, pointing, saying what the fuck. But they're not really coming that close right now. And it may also just be because there's so much going on. There's so many people here and it's so hot. So we moved to a location where we can engage with our people. We're not right now as well. So if anybody wants over to engage with us, they have to walk up some stairs.
Great. That's great. Oh, I lost them again. Oy, oy, oy. I lost them again. Very frustrating, but I hope we'll get them back. So I don't know if you all could hear that. That was a bit choppy. They moved to a location where they are up some stairs. So people have to do some extra work to approach them. They've already had a bit of engagement, people giving them dirty looks. Hopefully it would be great if they can come back. Thank you for your kind comments, Dawn Smith. And thank you always, Dawn, for your support of my work. I really appreciate you. And thank you for being in the stream today. So I know, Judy, I believe they will upload footage later. If anyone, if you know Kay Yang, she is a very experienced documentarian. So she always generally carries at least 2 phones with her. One phone she uses for live streaming, one phone she uses for documenting. So I do believe we will get footage later. Isabella Malbin is also on the ground and she is also documenting and recording footage. Okay, well, I see them here again. Okay, they're okay.
Oh,
I hear you and I see you.
Have a conversation with people next to me. We're filming it with a different camera, but the Wi-Fi is so spotty here. We're just trying to record with everything we can so that we have footage for later. But when she's done chatting with these folks, I think we're going to move a little bit and see if we can do some more engagement because we are like a little bit up on a platform right now. So people are walking by and like pointing and looking at us and giving dirty looks, but they're generally kind of like moving around. So if we want to engage with more people, I think we're going to have to like go out a little bit more.
Great.
So,
great. Well,
yeah, sure.
There's Isabella. There she is. Hey, you guys, I think just so you know, it's a little bit better the stiller you hold your camera. I don't think they can hear me.
What was that? Say it again.
I think it's a little bit better. The stiller you hold the camera, the better it is.
Amy, were you saying something?
Yeah, it doesn't matter, but the more still you hold the camera, the better. I don't think they can hear me. And we lost them again. I think what is happening, so they say they're going to go a little bit further away. It looked like Isabella was having a conversation with some people, and I don't know if you heard them say, but they are creating footage. So they are creating footage that we will be able to access later. Okay, and here they are back again. So we're just going to keep trying this as long as long as they are out there, we will keep trying. Let's see here. Okay, it's loading again. We'll see if we can get them again. We'll see. It's not so easy breezy today. It's a little more challenging out there. So I appreciate you all bearing with. Hey, Dangerous Rhetoric, thank you for being here. We're doing our best. Everyone who is not already, follow the Dangerous Rhetoric podcast and show. Subscribe to their channel. They did a great interview with me. They are wonderful. Yeah. Oh, you're in the middle of moving. I'm good luck to you. Moving in NYC is just it's a challenge. So good luck with that process. So for those tuning in, yay, do have me back. I would love it. So for those tuning in, Kay Yang and Isabella Malbin are out in NYC. They are at Washington Square Park right now. It looks like they are having a conversation. I'm going to see if we can tune into what she is saying. I don't know if they're having a conversation. Let's see. Nope. 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 In and out and in and out. Okay. Well, we're going to give this a few more minutes of attempts. And I thank you all for tuning in to watch these attempts. As I said earlier, they are documenting. So they are getting live footage, or they are recording footage that they will not broadcast live, that we can broadcast later. So my guess is you'll be able to catch that on Isabella Malvin's channel, on Kay Yang's Instagram, and I will of course link it on my Twitter where you can catch it. This is great. Yeah, Brett, it is a live stream. It is a live stream of Pride in NYC. My on the ground team is in Washington Square Park. I have, there's some other footage that we've seen today. I did put up some streams of Andy No has taken footage of adult child fountain time, naked adults playing with children in the fountain. We have seen some other pictures from Pride of adults dressed in GIMP costumes, in puppy play, and other fetish gear. My on-the-ground team is Kay Yang, who is an activist. She is also a whistleblower. She was formerly an LGBTQIA+ advocate and educator. She worked for the New York Department of Health, the New York City Department of Health. She was in the New York City public schools, and in their, she also went out to colleges and basically proselytized and indoctrinated. Of course, they called it educating, but now as a whistleblower, she calls it indoctrinating the work that she did. Now she is a whistleblower spilling the beans on the program that she worked for the NYC Department of Health. My other on-the-ground correspondent, if she returns as well, is Isabella Malbin. Isabella Malbin is the host of the podcast, Whose Body Is It? I have been very honored to be on her podcast as well. My episode of Whose Body Is It is apparently the highest watched of her podcast. So that is a real honor for me to hear. We are, of course, in support of the LGB. So we are very much in support of the LGB, and many in the audience are LGB. My Dangerous Rhetoric friends who are here are of part of that community as well. Oh, thank you, Dangerous Rhetoric. As I said, I had such a great time with them. But to be Claire Brett, we are in support of gays and lesbians and their rights. As I say in the tag, this event is, we are protesting, part of the protest is against lesbian erasure, but we are not with the radical TQ that is erasing lesbians and grooming children. We are not with that. Yes, as Kiki the Rad Femme says, LGB without the TQ, Trojan horse cults, and as Dangerous Rhetoric said, big gays, anti the crazy radicals. So there are many organizations that feel this way. One of them is Gays Against Groomers. Gays Against Groomers was at the rally that I was at 2 weeks ago at the Linwood Olympus Spa, protecting a women's naked lady spa. So it was really wonderful to have Gays Against Groomers supporting us there. Gays Against Groomers also was a donor and a supporter for my event that I did, Women Holding the Line, with Kay Yang and Riley Gaines in Franklin, Tennessee. So it's wonderful to see that Gays Against Groomers stands up for what is right. We also, of course, have Lesbians United. Get the L out. LGB without the T. LGB United. LGB Alliance. So there are many organizations out there that support the rights of gays, lesbians, and bisexuals to claim their sexual orientation. As advocates like Mr. Menno in the UK, if you all follow him, Mr. Menno always says that he is homosexual, not homogenderal. And I really like that because, of course, the LGB is standing for their sex-based rights, just as women are standing for our sex-based rights. Oh, I'm excited to be an honorary lesbian, of course. Thank you. You've got Turf Mail for being here. I appreciate it. Have a great weekend. I'm going to keep this open a bit longer. Yeah, Mom Army too supports uniting. There are so many wonderful organizations. I was simply, I just was trying to, Brett, this, one of the chat members had a question and I just wanted to address that question. And as Kiki says, yeah, trans is the new homophobia. And we see it in a lot of places. I don't know if you are all familiar with Kai Shapley. Kai Shapley is a child. He has spoken at the White House. He has testified for a lot of bills. He is, I believe, used by his mother, but his story is documented. So in the documentary about Kai Shapley, Kaishappley, his mother says about him, we worried that he was gay, and we spanked him, and we spanked him, and we spanked him, and we spanked him, and no amount of spanking him would stop him from wanting to wear dresses. And we were so worried that we had a gay son, but then we realized that he was really a girl the whole time. So this is the new homophobia in plain sight. Okay, now we don't know for sure. I don't think children have asexuality, so we don't know if Kai was going to grow up to be gay or straight or whatnot. But we do know that because Kai's mother and father worried that he was gay, this is why they transitioned him. So yeah, she didn't want a gay son. So this is very open homophobia. I don't think any child should be sexualized. I don't think we can necessarily predict, even based on non-sex stereotype conforming kids. I don't think we can predict what their sexuality is going to be. Many girls who are tomboys grow up to be with men. Many boys who are effeminate grow up to be with women. So we cannot predict sexuality in children. I don't like to sexualize children, but what we can say is why the parents reacted that way. And the parents reacted that way because of their homophobia. So they did this to their child because of their homophobia. So why didn't they just say, he's a little boy who wants to wear a dress, he can wear a dress? Why couldn't he just wear a dress? Why couldn't he just play with a Barbie if that's what he wanted to do? Yeah, I am very concerned about the WPATH embodiment goals. I highly suggest, Eliza Monogreen is a great woman researching it. Also, just so you know, Genevieve Gluck has exposed the men who wrote, the founders of WPATH and the writers of WPATH. These men who founded the WPATH and are the original writers of it, they themselves have a child porn website that they talk about themselves, that they talk about. Now it is behind a paywall, but when Genevieve was researching it, it was not behind a paywall. And she very openly exposed the conversations that they were having about sex with children and child sex. So we should be very concerned and not trust anything that the WPATH has said. The WPATH also talks about, quote, eunuch identities. Some of them were part of a eunuch cult. Again, Genevieve Gluck exposes this. I definitely recommend subscribing to her Substack to find out more about that. But of course, they are, I talk about embodiment, right? When I talk about embodiment, I am talking about fully occupying oneself, being in your body, claiming your holistic embodiment, being in integrity with your entire body. When they talk about embodiment goals, they don't mean embodiment. They mean talking about commodification of body goals. So commodifying your body as a goal, that's not embodiment. Commodification and compartmentalization of your body. To say that a man having breasts makes him a woman, or that getting an orchiodectomy makes you a woman. These are not embodiment goals. These are commodification goals. So it makes me so mad when places like the WPATH twist language to mean something that it doesn't mean. Embodiment means being at one with your body, because I am my body. I'm not, my body is not a concept that I hold in my head. I am my body. My body is not a suit that I put on. My body is not a possession that I own. I am my body. Okay. Any of these things that my body is different compartments. These are all dissociations. Okay. And so when they talk about embodiment goals, they don't actually mean embodiment. They mean commodifying and compartmentalizing, that you can make a purchase of something, a surgery or a drug, and put it onto your body and change your body. But in fact, you can't actually, whatever you do externally to your body, you can't change your embodiment. You can't change your developmental path. There is one developmental path that you're on, and when we talk about like a whole, like my holistic developmental path. If I wanted to talk about my entire developmental path, I would start with the fact that I'm an animal and not a plant or a fungus. I would then move on to the fact that I am a mammal. I'm not a reptile or a bird or a fish. Then I would move on to the fact that I'm a primate. I'm not a rodent or a canine. Then I would move on to the fact that I'm a human. I'm not a monkey or a great ape or a chimpanzee. Then I would move on to the fact that I'm a woman. So to say that I'm a woman is to more and more specifically talk about the developmental path that I'm on, and nothing can change that path. Just like no matter what I externally do to my body, I can't become a plant. I can't start processing nutrients by photosynthesis, no matter what I do. I can't change the fact that I'm an animal. I can't change the fact that I'm a mammal. I'm warm-blooded. Whatever I externally do to my body, if I implant scales all over my body, I can never become cold-blooded. I will always be a warm-blooded mammal. And just like this, I can't change my sexual developmental path. I can't change the fact that I'm a woman. No matter what I externally do to my body, I can't go backwards in time. And we should be very specific, because our sexual developmental paths, they are what is called mutually antagonistic. This is true of all mammals and most all animals. Mutually antagonistic means that once a sexual developmental path begins, once my body begins organizing around large immodal gametes, you can't go backwards. You can't then begin another different developmental path organized around small modal gametes. So they're mutually antagonistic paths. Once one begins, it disallows for the development of the other, even in those with intersex and DSD conditions. It's mutually antagonistic. So those who have disorders of sexual development or intersex conditions, they are either men with an abnormality, or they are women with an abnormality. Okay. They're not both. They're not something other. They're men or women. They have abnormalities, but they're not something other. Yeah, we aren't meat Legos. I like that. Yeah. So let me see. Yeah, I should. So just so you know, I'm working on two main projects. One is what I'm calling the Little Red Riding Hood effect. That is talking about, and I've spoken about this. I think you can see there's some videos, some long form videos on my channel that talk about this. That one is talking about child safeguarding. My other area of research that I'm getting into right now, just like Genevieve Gluck has taken down the W path, I am doing a ton of research right now. In fact, right next to me, I have book 1, book 2, book 3. I have book 4 over here. And I have a few more books on their way. So I am wildly researching everything I can get my hands on about the DSM. And I will be coming after the DSM and the faulty diagnosis of gender dysphoria. I do not put any faith in the DSM, and I do not put any faith in their diagnoses. That diagnosis was created to be an empathy trap, an emotional manipulation, and it was created to make money, to make a lot of money. So I will be coming after the DSM with my research very soon. If there were 1 or 2 actual books that I would recommend regarding the issue, what would I suggest? There's, okay, let me, maybe we can get some suggestions. Of course, there is, let's see, Material Girls by Kathleen Stock, Trans by Helen Joyce, Gender Trouble by Sheila Jeffries, Kara Dansky's Abolition of Sex. Actually, that one might be really good because it's really short and digestible. If you want a book about kids, you might read, wait, why am I blanking on this? It was just on my brain and now I've just lost it. The one about our girls, why am I blanking on this? Irreversible damage. Thank you. Thank you, other people, for coming to my aid. I hate when I like have it on the tip of my tongue, and I lose it. Thank you so much for the donation. I really, really appreciate it. There's so many great books, but I would say, you know, start with just one and see where you go from there. They all have things that I agree with. Some of them even have things that I disagree with a little bit. Like I love Irreversible Damage. I disagree with the diagnosis of rapid onset gender dysphoria, but it's still a great book. So there's a lot of great books out there that you know, the more you read, you yourself might develop little critiques about, but they're all worthy explorations of the topic. And of course, Women Who Run with the Wolves, it's not on the specific gender topic, but it is a great book. And I'm holding a class about it right now. It's my second time running a Women Who Runs with the Wolves course, which is, it's a really fun course. It's a really fun book to explore in a group. After I'm done with this round of Women Who Run with the Wolves courses, I will be leading another one because it's just been, oh my gosh, it's just such a nourishing book. It's so nourishing to read it in a group all together. It's just amazing. If anyone does want, if anyone wants to start the course, send me a DM on my Twitter or send me an email at I'll put my email in, the known heretic at Gmail. Yeah, it was just week one. This week was just week one. It's a long course. It's a 16-week course. So you've only missed 1 week and I record all of the sessions. So if you missed the first week, that's okay because I can send you the recording. The first week was just going over the introductory chapter and there are 15 actual chapters of the book. So if you want to join late, you know, you can. I can, that is the email me there. And we can talk about it. Yes, it is. ROGD is a name for mass psychosis. Thank you to both who are saying that, Snow and I don't know how you pronounce your name. Miro Jumeau. It looks French. I'm not sure the French pronunciation. Well, I think I'm gonna wrap this up, ladies. We have been here over an hour. We have really tried to connect with Kay Yang and Isabella. We got a little bit of the protest on the ground, but I just so appreciate all of you hanging out with me this whole time, listening to me as we were holding space for those women on the ground. And Snow and Alicia Shepherd, I did see your comments. They're going by a little quickly for me, but I know that you two also have critiques of the DSM. What I'm trying to do right now is just really get to the history of the creation of the DSM, because I really want to expose the men who have created it. Oh, good. Well, maybe this week we can have an introductory live about the DSM. I would love that because I'm really right now looking at the DSM-3 and the DSM-4. I'm basically starting at the beginning. The DSM-3 was really the beginning of the medical model of psychiatry. That's why I started there. Of course, I did look at the previous versions as well. But yeah, I would love to have a live stream about that and get more back and forth, hear where other people's research has gone. Of course, this is how research grows. We inform one another by doing the research. So I would love that. Absolutely. That is good to hear. Not in your head, lesbian. So I don't agree. I don't agree with ROGD because I don't agree with GD. Gender dysphoria. It has. There are about 10 pages written about it in the DSM-5. But in those 10 pages, okay, this is a particularly long diagnosis for the DSM. In those 10 pages, they never define their terms. They never define what is a gender identity specifically. Okay, they use very vague terminology when they define gender identity. So ROGD, GD, gender dysphoria, in short, is saying that you have a gender identity, okay, that is incongruent with your body. So the underlying assumption is twofold. One, that every person has a quote gender identity, and two, that it is possible to have an identity that is incongruent with your body. So I do not agree with either of those suppositions. There is no such thing as an innate gender identity, and there is no such thing as having an identity that is incongruent with your body. Your body is your body. You can have any identity that you want in your body. I believe in the rapid onset. I believe there is a rapid onset social contagion. There is a rapid onset social contagion. There is a rapid onset mass psychosis, but there is not such a thing as basically being born in the wrong body, which is what gender dysphoria boils down to, being born wrong. You can't be born in the wrong body. There is no identity attached to having a certain kind of body. So there is no more an identity that is attached to my reproductive organs than there is an identity attached to my other organs. I don't have lung identity. I don't have gallbladder identity. I don't have liver identity. And I definitely don't have ovary identity or fallopian tube identity. There is no identity that is attached to my internal organs. Our bodies are simply the form and function through which we physically proceed through the world. Okay. The way that my body is formed and functioned isn't an identity for me. Women don't share identities. Men don't share identities. There's about roughly 4 billion of each sex. There's no shared 4 billion identity or 4 billion identity over here. We don't share identities. My body is an identity. Being a woman isn't an identity. It is simply the way that I experience the world. It's not an identity any more than being animal is an identity. Identities are concepts that we hold about ourselves. My body isn't a concept. Being an animal isn't a concept that I hold about myself. It's just the form and function of my body. Being a mammal isn't a concept that I hold about myself. Okay, our bodies aren't concepts that we hold about ourselves. And even if we do hold a concept about ourselves, like if I hold a concept about myself that I'm a plant and not an animal, and it's incongruent with my body, my plant identity is incongruent with my animal body. Well, the fact is my body is still my body. My identity is my identity. The concept that I'm holding is not the concept that I'm holding is wrong. It's not my body that's wrong. If I hold a concept about myself that I'm a plant, that concept is wrong. So anywho, I can't get all into it here, but I have other writing about it. You can look at my Substack. TheKnownHeretic.com is my Substack, and I think I have a video essay where I get more into this on my YouTube channel. You can get into it, but it's the diagnosis of gender dysphoria. Basically, the main point is it's an empathy trap. Okay. No one was ever going to pay for the fetish surgeries of what we used to call transvestites. No one was going to pay for sex changes, quote unquote, sex changes for adult men. So they had to create gender dysphoria because that's about children. So it's a hook, it's a trap, it's an emotional manipulation. Okay. Yeah, anorexics believe they're fat. They that's a concept they hold about themselves, but they are their body. You know, they are not fat. We can't agree with people's mental delusions about themselves. That is harmful. All right. I love you all. And I obviously I could talk about this topic forever. I will talk about the topic of the DSM. Let's say maybe we can meet later this week, maybe Tuesday. I will hold a conversation about it. Thank you all for tuning in to talk about Pride, Femicide, Lesbian, Erasure, child grooming. Thank you all for hanging out. I really thank Kay Yang and Isabella for being on the ground and documenting whenever we document. This is the record of our descent. I love you all, and I will see you in the interwebs. Bye-bye. Tuesday, I don't know when. If you want to come on Tuesday, at me at my known heretic on Twitter and tell me a time. All right, love you all. Bye.